Hi, welcome back to Access Orbit. I'd like to introduce our next poet, the goddess Michelle Mukai.
My great-grandfather carved kanji onto stones for 3 days straight. The meanings of what he felt about life and love, and he was so proud of his culture. But when World War II came, my entire family was shipped away. All that they had was lost. They went with just themselves into a camp where they were encircled in barbed wire. And there my father was conceived. And as he grew in my grandmother's womb, she'd sit at the barbed wire and look out and wonder why her baby had to be born inside this circle where she could not leave. And he was born. And the first year of his life he spent in this cage. My grandfather would sit on benches, carving jungle scenes out of unwanted apple boxes, and ask the question, I am who? I am a Japanese man? I am an American man? I am a Japanese American? My father grew up not wanting to know Japanese. He couldn't even speak with his parents. He named me Michelle, an American name. There was no even thought of me having a Japanese name. And he introduces himself as Tak. Maybe it sounds more American. Maybe people won't notice his eyes or his hair. I take pride in my name, and I know that I'm Michelle Emiko Mukai. And I thank my grandparents and all of my ancestors for everything that they have done to get me here.
The World Trade Organization is the only international organization dealing with the global rules of trade between nations. Its main function is to ensure that trade flows as smoothly, predictably, and freely as possible. The result is a more prosperous, peaceful, and accountable economic world.
This is the beginning, and everything's at stake.
There's only one thing that the ruling interests have ever wanted, and that's everything.
What we are against is trade at any cost.
This is not about trade. This is about a corporate constitution.
We're pitted to be pitted against each other in a race to the bottom. Who will accept the most miserable working conditions?
We're speaking out for the people.
I was really pissed off this whole Generation X or apathetic portrayal of like young people when in fact we're our people I've seen are incredibly passionate, and the problem usually has been the lack of options we have for expressing ourselves.
People have realized how much youth are organizing and how educated youth are and how dedicated youth are and how important they are.
There were a lot of minors. We had to do separate solidarity, jail solidarity trainings.
I've been out on the streets every single day this whole week, and every time I go home, I watch TV and it's just totally fucked up. The media's been covering it so wrong, and it's been always geared towards violence and riots when there has been no violence or riots towards particularly the youth activism.
A lot of the time, the media does play up they're just young and idealistic, They'll sell out like all their parents did in the 60s.
That's not what the whole message here is about. It's about getting our point across, having our voices heard. It's not about all that.
people were turning against the youth as if we were all the anarchists and all. It was like turning against us when we should be in solidarity. So I said, the only violence that's been done has been by the police, and youth don't hurt people like WTO.
I'm not really that surprised in a sense because I knew we always had it in us. I'm just glad that we had the occasion for it to come together like this.
We're standing up and we're fighting and we're going to keep going.
We got to do this. We got to go out here.